Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Truth or Derynn, where Derynn Page spills all the tea. Derynn is a model, influencer, and entrepreneur who's here, like I said, to spill the tea. So without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Derynn Page.
Hello. Oh, I have to get closer, apparently. I have to make out with the mic, apparently.
Doesn't bite.
Hello. We are back for episode 2. We made it past the first one. Can you believe
Welcome
it?
back.
It's the second one. We did it. Wow.
We didn't scare you away.
You didn't scare. I didn't scare you guys away. I'm shocked.
We've seen it all.
Do we see this is a lot. You know.
Well, you're making it worse.
I need a hair team for this podcast, apparently.
Girl, I should have come in with my hairspray. I would have helped you.
No, we don't. It's okay. All right. Anyway. All right. So last week we just had Doug.
Yes.
And now we added someone.
Yes, Samantha.
We added Samantha, who
Samantha's here today.
So I had someone lined up to come besides Doug.
Okay.
And she got sick. So I had to scramble really, really quick. And Sam and I grabbed a drink last week after our podcast. And I was like, you know what? We're gonna have her on one day. And the one day is right now. So Samantha or Sam?
Woo!
We're gonna go with
You can call me Sam.
Sam.
Yeah,
Okay,
Samantha's
Sam.
for when I'm in trouble.
Well, okay. I'll be saying Samantha
Ooh,
probably in the next 3 minutes. Then.
right.
Okay. So
Over under 3 minutes. Here we go.
So Sam has a TikTok channel that is actually kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know if she had a following or not, and apparently she does. And she's very, very hot and pretty. So I was like, all right, I definitely get it. Also, we found out that we have a mutual friend or a common denominator of college babes, Stephen.
Yes.
Is that what we call it now? Common denominator? For the guys watching out there, what does common denominator mean?
It means that you've a common denominator for a man would mean like you've it's a girl that you and your friend I guess have hooked up with. I'm kidding.
Right, so
I have
for the
no
guy-
idea. I don't know.
So for the guy
Common
perspective,
denominator is
the
common
guy
denominator. It means,
perspective,
Yeah, it's
the
like
guys
your
call it
math, yeah.
Eskimo friends or whatever.
No, but
Eskimo buddies.
This doesn't apply to that.
Okay.
No, common denominator is like someone that you both know. You both have a past, whatever. So
It's a math thing.
yeah, and
Okay.
it's not like a sexual thing. I don't know. So we figured this out last week by following each other on Instagram,
Mhm.
and so College Babes was how I got my start with Barstool Sports.
Mhm.
How do you know College Babes?
So I actually know Steven because I was going to Atlantic City a lot.
Uh-huh.
And I actually have a friend there that like kind of co-owns / runs the entire event department. His name is Lou. B.
Lou.
And so Lou was, inviting us out there and we were going out and
Mhm.
sometimes promo videos were happening. And then I actually got posted on Barstool Smoke Shows. And that's
Oh.
when.
Where's your picture? You posted mine last week. Where's
It's maybe
someone insert her Barstool photo,
No,
please?
it's not my best.
It doesn't matter. Mine wasn't either. That's very interesting that we both know Stephen. I went to I forget what it was. It was the NBA draft party at Marquee. I was 23 years old, and we thought we were going to meet like all the NBA players, but it was like the after party that no one went to, and we're like, what is this? And I remember I had no followers when I went. I had literally maybe like 400, and all the girls there had like 11K. Like the K was like the coolest thing. I was like, how many K do you have? And I was like, none. I'm under 1,000. And then he became a very close friend of mine. I still talk to him actually, and he's a big promoter now. But so you have an experience with him, which is ironic because I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Well, thank you for doing this so last minute and so much fun. So we talked about your TikTok. We talked about College Babes.
Right.
You are not from New Jersey.
No, I'm actually from New York.
New York State.
Yes, New York
Okay.
State. My entire family grew up in the Bronx, and then we moved over to Westchester,
Okay.
where we now reside.
Would you ever live in New Jersey?
Some parts, yes.
Okay, if you were, where would you live?
Good question.
Edgewater.
I knew I was gonna say Edgewater, Fort Lee, Jersey City. I knew she was gonna say that. I could tell.
It's like
She's got these Kim Possible pants on. She's like, I can't live around Bergen County. No way.
But yeah, Edgewater's
okay.
beautiful, and it's so close to the city. And I had a friend that lived there, so I used to be there all the time. And I was like, this is a great middle ground for anybody
it.
that like kind of wants city life but doesn't want to be in the city.
You're right. I love Edgewater. It's definitely beautiful and very easy to get to places.
Absolutely.
Okay, so last week we had some drinks flowing at Blue Moon Cafe in Wyckoff.
Just a few.
Just a 300. And we somehow came up with the fact that not only do we have the college babes as a mutual whatever
Endeavor.
Common denominator, whatever. Sam has an ex who happened to choose a very similar career path to what I did, apparently, but I didn't know who this person was. Thank God, right? Do you want to talk about that at all, or is that like a X is a X for a reason? We're not going to talk about that.
We could talk about it, not like all the nitty gritty details.
Please, no, we need to do that.
that.
Please, fire it up.
Truth or Derynn?
Yeah, can we have those drinks?
Yeah. Can we have a drink, please, waiter?
Yeah, it was quite some time ago, like a few years ago, but unfortunately, it's seared in your brain, those kinds of relationships.
Okay. So when we won't even say his name. Let's come up with a name for him. His name was Tom.
Tom.
Was that his real name? I hope it wasn't his
No,
real
it
name.
wasn't.
Imagine it was.
I was like,
Sorry. So I actually didn't know who Tom was when she mentioned what show he was on or anything. I personally don't really watch much of MTV reality TV, which you probably think I would because I've been on it. But when did you date this man and what happened? Or if you want to summarize it in under 2 sentences, what
You
happened?
waste no time. Just
Oh
right
no,
into
we're
it.
just gonna dive in.
okay, so like 2019 to just before
I'm gonna write this
2021.
down so I get these
Oh
facts
shit.
right. 2019
Yeah,
too.
2019,
The investigator
right
at work
before
here.
The world
Yeah.
fucking ended.
So- Oh, it wasn't long.
Yeah, no, we were together in 2019, and then we broke up.
So you were a COVID couple.
Essentially,
She's a
but
COVID
right
couple.
before, right before. It was before COVID hit.
Yeah.
Because COVID-19 was like at the end of.
Yeah.
19.
I
So
remember.
it was like we started dating in like probably the beginning of 2019.
So under a year.
No, over a year.
Oh, over a year.
Yeah.
Oh, but you broke up during COVID.
No, we broke up like literally the month before 2021. So we went 2019
okay.
and like
Interesting.
2020
And-
then 2021.
Okay. And do you guys still
So like a
speak?
year and a half. Oh no.
No. Okay. We don't still speak. Okay.
We
I
spoke
feel like that's a
once.
personality trait, and you guys might be different. Where like I feel like you don't talk to your exes ever again. I don't know how
I
you
am
are
that
yet.
kind of person.
I feel like
You?
you cut them off and burn their houses down. I don't know how you are yet.
How I burned their houses down. I only burn the cars. I don't do the house. I'm pretty much like once you're out of my life, and I have a lot to offer someone, I think, and I've built a lot for myself. And if someone doesn't see that or value that of me, then I'm not going to really value you much anymore. That's
And
kind
the
of
second you take
You're
them back,
dead.
they go right back to doing what they were doing. 'Cause
Yeah.
they're like, oh, I could get away with it once, and like,
Yes.
she gives me another chance.
okay. So I have a question. I'm not gonna grill you too much about your past life, but do you think you can change a man?
No.
Doug,
Do
do you think you can change a man as a woman? You know what I mean?
So-
not
so-
like a
I have
sex
to
change.
ask-
I'm not talking about a sex change here.
No,
I'm just
no, no.
asking.
No, I thought you were asking me personally if I could change a man.
Not you.
No, I think it's a personality trait. I think there's people who want to make themselves better. So it depends on what we're talking about. If you're talking about you think you can make like this like player not become a player, no. If you're saying you could help someone become better in like their business, I feel like being an entrepreneur and being a business owner, having a good right hand person is huge in that, right?
Mhm.
So you can improve their lives in certain ways, but if you're trying to change someone from being a player and a cheater into being all about you, I don't think that's going to happen.
Okay.
Here's my caveat. I don't think that a woman can change a man or anybody can change a man, right?
Yeah.
But I do think if that man realizes what's in front of him, he will change himself.
Okay.
I do think that I think people are pretty like creatures of habit. I do think off
Yes.
the rip, people aren't going to change immediately. But if someone genuinely sees the value and are emotionally and self-aware enough to see what that person can contribute to the relationship, especially in the long term, I think that they would opt to get rid of like the simple pleasures and actually dive into committing and investing and maybe becoming or stepping up to the plate
Mhm.
that they're not at, that the person wants them to be at. But that's not going to happen from
Doug has a lot to say, apparently.
Here's the problem. The guy that does do that, you will view as too invested or coming on too strong, and you'll dismiss.
Are you
So the
speaking
guy
from
that's
personal
like,
experience?
no.
He's like, I've been had my heart broken so
That's
many
not
times.
true. That's not
No.
true.
No. just no, I'm like a good wingman to my friends, and and believe it or not, I'm actually a certified life coach. I did that. I got a certification because I knew I'd be dealing with employees and in work environments, so I figured I dive in and like learn some like things to help our business. So like I believe that I see it in real time that like the guy will be like, I'm really into her. I want to become better and change. But then that comes off too strong. And then you guys are like, not interested.
Do you think that men subconsciously do that? Or you think they actually
No, they
know?
actually find someone they're into.
Okay.
And then they're like, they let's just say you change them from player to I'm all about you. And you guys are scared of that as well. So you have to do it at the right
time. We're
time.
like, do we really trust the guy or not at that point? We're like, we know you're past.
No, but like I'm saying, like if someone comes on pretty strong is all about you too early, you'll be turned off by that. You like the chase. Ladies love the chase.
Men love the chase. I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's different.
I don't think
Okay.
ladies like the chase. I think it's more of the fact that both people have to be at the same level of emotional awareness, self-awareness, emotional intelligence, and like self-respect and boundaries and things of that nature. Oftentimes, if you have that situation where somebody's ready to commit and the other person runs, they're not emotionally mature enough or ready to be emotionally available or show up to a relationship, which is why it happens that way.
I agree with that.
I think two people that are ready to be two adult people that are emotionally intelligent and self-aware and have been through things and worked on themselves and kind of just see the world from a objective perspective instead of just so divulged in your own perspective. I think they can really come together and say, okay, this person is showing me interest. I'm either going to reciprocate that interest if I have it, or I'm going to tell them this is not for me. I'm not interested because of XYZ that you're contributing.
So I was listening to I'm a big fan of Jay Shetty. I don't know if you know who he is.
Sounds familiar.
The relationship guy. He used to be a monk. He was on Call Her Daddy recently and a bunch of other
I think
he's really great. He's really I like him a lot. They had a podcast about, I guess, like deepening your connection with someone and how like to see like where someone's at. And we talked about commitment. It's all about commitment, and both people in the relationship need to be fully committed. Yes. And if one person's giving only 20, other person's giving 80, it makes the 100, I guess, but it's not balanced. Right. And if you want to have a trusting and worthy relationship, that you have to put all of your eggs in one basket. And we're taught in society, like, never put all your eggs in one basket. And then everyone's sidetracked and not sure. And like, it's constantly a game. So they're saying is even if you're not married, but you want to have the commitment, is to put all of your eggs in one basket. So you are a young 20-year-old and 20s.
Thank you for keeping it vague.
Not 20. We never say our age on these. No, I'm 21 plus. We don't know how many.
Yeah,
what are your thoughts on putting all of your eggs in one basket?
So I have this theory that with social media and everything, at its length, with you being able to see someone across the fucking world in 2 seconds on your screen, I think we have the option of illusions. And I think that's what keeps people from putting their eggs in one basket. They scroll, oh, this girl or guy is hot. This one person can treat me better. And the grass is always greener on that other side. Meanwhile, you don't even know if that person is going to vibe with you, if you like that personality.
They're not watering their grass. How is it greener? You don't know
who they are. And we're basing everything from face value. And so when you do that, it's really hard to commit to one person because you see all these options, but it's really an illusion because you don't know where those people are at and if they're ready to give to you what you want.
Right.
So I think definitely if you are about someone, it's the best way is to put your eggs in one basket, because if you both take it seriously, you know where to cut it off at, like, a month, 2 months, 3 months, we've been seeing each other. Is this working out or not? Like, you have to have those transparent conversations instead of just dragging each other on. So if it works, it works, and it doesn't. Put the eggs in the basket and see if you can carry it.
Put all your see if you can. If you work out enough and you can carry it across the street. And they also there was a study done that said when people have a lot of options, they don't take what they have in front of them very seriously because they know, like, I could get rid of one, I have another one lined up. But if you only have two, you sit there and you think more. It's almost like when you go out to dinner and you order and there's like a very small menu of only like 3 options, or like if you go to like a wedding, you go to Cheesecake Factory, like, if I don't like it, I'll get something else, like whatever. And they say that, like, mentally, that when you have too many options, you don't take what you have in front of you seriously.
And we're a trash and like replace culture. Back in the day, people used to have 2 pairs of shoes and you replace the soles, and you have like 5 pairs of clothes and like that's it.
Now I'm trying to replace my
and
actual
now you
soul.
have like,
it's not really working too well. I'm trying to figure that one out here.
Do some soul searching.
Lucifer?
Anyway, yeah, help.
So before we move on, going back a little, not too far, just going back a little bit, let's take the same thing I was trying to describe, the woman's perspective. Like I'm saying, you can't really, like when a guy is interested, you get scared away when he shows too much interest too quick. Just like, and I had two friends this happened to recently. They're dating someone for a little bit, not maybe like a week or two, and they're like, "What are we?" And then the guy gets scared. It's the same concept. Like you want to change a guy, but then the guy that does show interest and then is like, let's get a house together. You get scared away. Not that I'm saying like I said that to anyone or that's like a real situation. I don't know what that would be.
This is a real thing. This really happened.
Okay. All right. So that happens and you're like, oh shit, like I like this guy, but now he's too interested and you get scared away. Just like these two dudes were like the what are we question, which is like the kiss of death. I feel like, you're it's the same concept, just the reverse. The girl's like, what are we? And the guy's like, whoa, like, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a lot to say about this. I think. Go ahead.
You go first. This is your show, babe.
This is my show. I don't know. Okay. So, one, I will say this. I think it depends on the woman. I think because in my personal experience, I've been screwed over by a lot of men.
Okay.
I realized a lot of men were after me for either my fame or something else. And I'm just like, okay, so they played me a lot. And I never asked that because I could tell it was kind of not, I guess I was kind of being duped a little bit. And then at one point I was like, okay, this is not for me. I do think women have a really big pressure to have, for some reason, a lot of women think like their life is a timeline, I think more than men do. And I mean, I get women have a fertility clock and if they want to have kids, like that's a big thing. I don't know if I agree with you when you say when a woman gets overly pursued, because I will say I never felt pursued. And now I'm in a relationship where my boyfriend overly pursued me. And that's what made me fall in love with him. Because I never had that actual affection and attention. And like, he was very serious. And every guy I was with was like, yeah, like, oh, whatever. And then I found out they had a girlfriend on the side or they were dating someone else constantly or like whatever. I think in my situation, I believed every man was so bad for so long that I finally found one that I liked. I was like, maybe this is right. And then I will say sometimes it feels like it's too good to be true. You freak out. But I'm also not someone that's living based off a timeline. So maybe I'm different, but I think it depends on the woman. What is your thought?
So I agree. I think it depends on not only the woman, but like, again, the person, the emotional maturity level that they're at. A lot of the time you can like get love bombs, like you were saying pretty much, where you're not sure if it's genuine or not. So when someone shows that extreme amount of interest in you from the rip, when you're like, you don't even know me. Yeah. Why are you showing me this much interest? It's going to be a red flag because you're like, oh, you're love bombing me so that whatever can conspire and you'll be okay with it. Alternatively, I think, again, with that emotional maturity and knowing really what you want and being honest with yourself. Like you said, oh, if somebody wants to buy you a house, then you're like, oh, well, actually, never mind. That really makes you think about the long term. Do you really want to live with this person and have kids with them and get married to them? Right. And if you're not at that level with them and you haven't been honest with them and yourself about it, then yeah, you're going to run away from it. But again, you have to be honest with yourself and your partner about what your emotional maturity level is at, what you're looking for in a relationship, what a relationship means to you, because so many people have different and opposite opinions on what cheating is versus what's not cheating and what's appropriate versus inappropriate in a relationship. And being a psych major, I learned that.
Oh yeah, I'm a psych major too. That's right. Okay, yeah.
But I learned that one of the leading marriage divorce rate reasons is that people have these separate contracts. So they don't discuss this before they actually get within the marriage and get to raising children and say, okay, well, I just assumed you would take the night shift.
There should be a contract you both have to fill out. You have to match those 80%. Yeah, 80% of things have to add up.
But yeah, like you don't want to.
He's laughing. He's a married man. He's like, oh, yeah, okay.
Like, I know what you're talking about. But
yeah,
you don't want to be with someone that like, when you're dating in an apartment, they clean up after themselves. And the second you get married in a house, you're throwing their clothes all over the floor. And they're like, yeah, that's your job. You're my wife. Like, you like both ends.
Ex-wife, actually.
Ex-wife, yeah. Like, I don't know. Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
I think I'm not saying, I think you guys are telling the truth, and I'm not saying you aren't. I think you subliminally might be doing some of these things to a certain extent.
Do tell.
Like what?
No, I think
We're psycho.
I think that that like the situations I'm describing, you are subconsciously you get nervous or scared. It could be something as simple as he texted you too soon and that turns you off.
No, if they
but
text
to-
too
to- but
late,
to
I'm like,
say-
dude, what's going on here?
But to say that you both embrace people like
Now, with the emotional maturity.
Oh
Like,
yeah, I'm
when
talking
I was
at my age. When I was like
younger-
23, I was like, wow.
Yeah,
fair.
I was wild.
Fair.
I'm gonna be 30, unfortunately. So
Yeah,
I'm
no.
not.
Fair.
I got a whole different.
fair,
mentality
yeah.
now.
But to say, I mean, like, look, we talked about last episode or the DMs and Instagram. Like maybe
I'm
there is.
so I'm so over
Maybe
it.
there is a guy in there with good intentions and like, but
Oh,
you'll
yeah,
never
of
know.
course. I'll never know because they live in
Because
Idaho.
you turned him
and
down.
they-
You turned him down at the first DM. You didn't even read the DM.
But
bro.
I also will say, I think, well, one, I think things happen when you least expect them. I think that's very true in some circumstances.
Mhm.
And also, you have to be open, I think, to knowing what you want and calling that in for yourself. Because for me personally, I was with someone for 5 years, from 18 to 23, and like after that, I was like, I'm going to be single for as long as I possibly can. And I was so turned off by every man, no matter who it was. I was just, I don't even know. I was ready to rip everyone's head off. And then there's a point in time when I was like more open to learning about myself and someone else. But I think if you're not open to it, you can't really allow it to come in.
Well, that's why I preface with if you're emotionally intelligent and
There
self-aware and like you know what you want in a relationship. Because if you're some 18-year-old girl or guy, of course you want to go out there and see what the world has to offer. And the second that someone's like, yeah, I want to marry you, when you're 18, you're like, get the hell out of here.
No, some girls are like, thank you, finally. It's amazing. I'm like, slow down, hold on.
No, some people, that's what they live for. Like they want to just be married. They want
Yes.
to have kids. They want to do the damn thing. But then a lot of the time, I feel like sometimes they get there and they're like, oh shit.
Oh, this is what it is. No one's gonna fold my laundry. All right, great.
I have a lot about that.
So Doug is married.
Yes.
Round of applause for Doug.
I did it. I did it.
Just had a
So
baby.
just had a baby.
3
Samantha,
months.
Samantha.
3 months. Yes.
He must really like you.
yeah.
So tell us about your experience finding the woman of your dreams and how you knew and when you knew and what happened.
Okay, so we lived a block away from each other. So I was living with my best friend, Chris, who we actually went to preschool together, and we've been friends ever since. So me and Chris were living in Hackensack, and down the street, Adrian was living, and we, there's what Noches. It's now
Columbia. Noches.
no, not Noches. It comes. That's the close to. We met there too, but it was the other. Now it's like Cafe Mexicana or something. It used to be Point and Still. Yeah, so we met there, and we were talking, and the big thing and how I knew is the support and understanding of what I do. A lot of times in the past, what I do doesn't really make sense. So you ladies love, to have doctor, lawyer makes sense, right? So creator, director, producer, video, these things might be scary to some, but fully embraced and fully supportive. So that was like the big thing for me, because I'm so passionate and competitive that that's a make or break. If you can't be on board for the mission, it's not going to work.
Yeah, support's huge, and believing in your partner and yourself is very important.
Yeah, so I mean, I feel like you're going to be in a similar position because you're in a situation, and I'm not saying about your current relationship now. I'm just saying in general, you're going to be in a similar. Not everyone experience what you experience, so for your other half, they're going to have to be understanding of what your future endeavors hold, and trust is going to be a big thing.
Trust is the biggest thing, I think, and it's go with the flow. But I've definitely had so many people tell me oh no, I can't handle this. I'm out. I'm like, okay, thank you for telling me now. Make it early on.
Better than the cheating.
Oh, my God.
Well, that and we don't have to go down this road.
He's
but
like, we're not going to go down the road.
We don't have to go down this road, but from a guy's perspective, not saying that cheating is okay. I'm saying that guys
She's like,
are
I'm
just
gonna move my chair.
no. That's not what I'm saying at all. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is that guys are too much of a wuss to break up with you. So they're just they're too chicken to do it.
Don't y'all have balls, literally?
I'm not saying me. I'm saying
really? You think
I'm
men
saying
are afraid?
I think that's what I think I think 50%. I think that 50% of the time that a dude cheats is because he's too much of a chicken to break up. So they just, like they do whatever they want. They get caught eventually, and they don't care
Do you
because
think
they want to
wanna
break
get
up
caught?
anyway.
They do it on purpose to get caught, correct?
Subconsciously, maybe there's some type of like they don't care if they get caught because
Yeah.
they're just too chicken to break up.
Mm.
So they're locked in this situation. They're not happy when they should have broken up. They're just like, talking to other people, and when eventually they get caught, and it is what it is. I'm not saying it's every time. I'm saying it's probably like 50%.
I wouldn't say 50%. I'm not writing it off. I wouldn't say 50%, but I would say that some
So
people
you-
like to have their cake and eat it too.
Mhm.
A lot of the time, cheating is insecurity, unhappiness in the relationship driven, right? So
Okay.
either people are cheating because they're feeling like they're having an inadequate experience in the relationship, or
Okay,
that
slow down. Just because let's unpack some things first, because that goes back to what we were saying before. If he feels like you're worth it and he's in love with you, he's not going to cheat on you.
Correct. I'm talking about if someone's insecure or unhappy in their relationship.
Yeah, but the cake and eat it too. If if someone values you and wants to be with you, the thought of losing you would be more pain than cheating.
And
So
sometimes they learn that the hard way.
okay.
Sometimes they do learn that the hard way. I always say cake and eat it too, because in my experiences and what I've seen a lot of the time, it's that these guys go for these really beautiful, independent, like powerful women, and then they kind of like cage them. It's like seeing a really beautiful bird, just being like, I want to cage it, I want to cage it. And it's like once you have it in a cage, you like barely feed it, you barely look
Like,
at
'cause
it.
you trapped
you're
it.
out shooting more birds.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, where's another bird? I got that one in the cage. Like,
Mhm.
and I feel like it almost is like, I still got it. Like, yeah, I have her, but like, I still got it. And that's why they sometimes go out insecurity driven
Mhm.
anyway.
Right.
And then, like you said, or like I said before, unhappiness is also something that drives cheating in a relationship, which I think is an extension of someone not being true to themselves and emotionally aware and transparent with their person and their relationship. And it really can eat you alive if you're not honest and say, hey, I need some reassurance from you. I
Mhm.
need, what happened to us going on dates? What happened to us, working on the relationship? Because it's a job. A relationship and love is not just when you feel like it and like when it sparks.
Mhm.
The spark will die eventually, and it's your job to rub those sticks together until you recreate that fire.
Of course.
Like it's a commitment, and
Mhm.
that's the point of a committed relationship, because it's
Eggs in one
work.
basket. Eggs in one
Yeah.
basket.
You got to all in or all out. That's
All
it.
Well, you can freeze an egg or two.
Yeah, for $17,000. You said something that reminded. I was reading. I think it was Cosmo posted it. I don't know. It says that a lot of very beautiful women are the most insecure and jealous. They say of when they're in relationships, and they say the reason for it. I don't know if this is true or not. That so when people go out, if you go out with your friends, you're probably very pursued by other men a lot. I'm sure guys must come up to her left and right. So now they say that now pretty women see what other men do when we all go out, and half these men are in relationships. So now when they get into a relationship, now they go back to like, well, I know when I go out, like this is what happens. So which is why they say that more attractive women are more insecure, because they're always pursued and they see what goes on. And I read that and I was like, I could see how that can affect someone. I do understand that.
And more so, they think an insecurity also stems from the way that people treat you when you look a certain way, right? So a lot of the time people say trophy wife. I like to say handbag, because like it's an
Handbag.
accessory. It's like I can take you out, I can show you off, I can put you away when I
can
want
zipper it
to.
closed and
I
shut
can
myself
zipper
up.
You know what I mean? Like as long, and also a handbag, because like your handbag has to fit with your outfit, with the night that you're gonna have, like with the amount of things that you have to bring. A lot of the time I feel that I've seen is that when you have, and this kind of reminds me of what you said before with, you need to be able to keep up with my lifestyle and everything. A lot of men want someone to fit into their lifestyle.
Oh yeah, they want the
And
easy
they
way
don't
out.
want like to
No.
have to like actually like it takes a lot to compromise on certain things. Like if you're busy all the time and someone's not going to follow your dream, I understand why you don't want to be with them.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think sometimes unfairly to a point that it's like, okay, you move in with me. You like, like you have the kids, and then we're gonna like I'm gonna do my thing, and like you take care of them primarily. Like I feel like there's a very like you have to accommodate me in some of these relationships that can make someone be like, what is my value to you? Like, am I here because I can hold you upright well? Because I'd like to be held too.
You want to be held as a handbag.
Right.
She wants to be a
just
Louis
zip
Vuitton.
that mouth up, though.
Hit someone with me. I'll never be zipped. My zipper's broken.
What about
Jammed.
the other side of it too? The gorgeous girl who doesn't trust people because she is not trustworthy. So she, because of the guilt.
Uh-huh.
Do you want to touch on that? Because you guys aren't all angels either.
No, I just like to talk like about men a lot because that's my experience.
Oh,
Obviously,
yeah.
I'm not a man dating, women.
That's what we should do. We should dress up as men and go out.
Oh my god.
Hey, it's a whole
Actually, I
nother-
did that for one of my TikToks. I like put a fake beard on and everything. I like put a cotton thing in my pants.
Do you want to go there? There's probably a whole
why
nother
not?
episode. There's a whole nother episode. No, not dressing up as men. Do you want to go?
No, I
Do you
don't.
want to go there? Whereas women who have done something poorly to men has created a monster kind of thing.
Sure.
I mean, I feel like that could take up a whole.
You're
nother
not gonna
episode.
like my answer at all. I know that.
Well, let it rip.
No, it's so boring. I am an angel. I've never cheated. I've never talked to someone else, being with someone else. I'm the most loyal person. I will say that. That's one
It's
thing.
the Leo Virgo.
I will absolutely pat myself on the back for that. And I think it's almost like men are like, okay, like you've never done anything, so like let's see what I can get away with, I guess. But I will say that's something I hold myself to, and that I'm very proud to say I've never done, and I swear in my life about it. So I am an angel in that sense, but not saying every woman is like that. And I can see how hurt people, and that happens.
I think on both ends of the spectrum, like you could be loyal to a fault in the beginning where like the guy or the girl is like, I'm all in and like I want you, and that person has either been jaded or they're just not into that person, they hurt them, and they're like, relationships are a lie. People just do what they want, self-serving. Like that's it. Don't worry about getting involved in a relationship unless you're only going to be worried about yourself. And I think, like I said, both ends of the spectrum that can be true on. I personally have always been very loyal, like I said, to a fault. Where like if I start talking to somebody and I really, really, really like them, I'm not talking to anybody else. I'm not entertaining DMs. I'm not entertaining whatever. But a lot of the time, this is where you're getting mixed messages because there are women out here and people out here telling you if a person's not committed to you, you have the right to go and explore and date whatever. If the person approaches you in a way that you know that you're important to them or vice versa, then you can have that conversation about the loyalty and what that means to you too. But
sorry to interrupt you. I have a
No, go
question.
ahead.
So when you're dating somebody, how and when do you know it's only you? Or do you have this conversation? Is it talked about? Is it like, okay, after the fourth date, he's touched my leg and now it's like over? Like, how does this exactly?
Fourth date is touch a leg?
I'm kidding.
Jesus Christ.
So I personally don't want to rush into it and immediately like lock someone down because that's how I've kind of done relationships the wrong way. And it ends up, you feel like you trap the person because you're like, listen, like it's me or like the others. And you don't ever want to start a relationship on an ultimatum. But at the same time, I'm done enough work and like therapy and everything to know that like it's not a bad thing off the rip telling people what you're looking for and how you feel.
I think as we get older, it's normal.
As you get older, like this would be a entirely different conversation if I was like actually like 19 years old.
Oh
I
yeah,
had a completely different mentality. I was like, fuck man, like they always cheat. Like you might as well have a roster, like lined up of people that you could talk to like hit up.
As you get older, your roster
because
just
I had been so traumatized.
The roster is all on the bench at this point. Everyone's
injured.
Everyone's injured.
Everyone's injured. They don't want to play anymore.
It gets crazy. No, but like when you're young and you're damaged and you've been through shit, you're cheated and you just kind of carry that with you and it kind of perpetuates that.
Right.
Because the second you're like, I don't believe in relationships. I don't believe that anyone can be honest. I don't believe in anything. You kind of manifest that for yourself. So it's like a double-sided sword. I don't know, double-edged sword. I don't know how to say that. But
double-edged sword.
Yeah, double-edged sword. And I personally like to clarify what I'm looking for off the rip. I'm like, hey, I need a...
So first date, you're like, yo, I want a baby by next week.
No.
I want to live in your house tomorrow.
Well, I'll start off.
I got 3 eggs frozen.
And I think this is the confusion. Wait. So I definitely like to off the rip let people know that like I'm not too keen on having kids. Some people are like,
I have to have one.
I have to have a kid or whatever, and I'm just like, that's a deal breaker. Like anything that would be a big ass deal breaker for me should be established in the beginning because what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, don't waste my time
with my time. If you want 5 kids and I want 0.
Mhm.
Like, what does that mean for us in 10 years?
So you're
you're
gonna
not
meet in
going
the
to change
middle?
your mind. But this
With
is what I'm
three?
talking about. This is what I'm talking about with contracts. You know what I mean? Like, you have to know what you expect from each other
So
because
Darren's
it's not going to
question is
change.
when do you pull out the contract? That's basically what her question is.
She walks up on the first
Yeah,
date in her
they're all
pocket,
printed
rolled
out.
up. She's like, "Hi, okay, can you just fill this out and sign?"
Yeah.
If someone's approaching me, I'll set the tone and be like, oh, like if they want to like take me out to go to eat and like if they're like, let's get drinks or like come over, I'm like, no. Like this.
You want to get
Yeah,
drinks?
yeah.
Well, how many kids do you
So
want?
I set the tone there, but I'd say like if
The
you
amount of
are
drinks
at-
orders, the amount of kids I want.
if you're
None.
dating someone for like 3 months, I'd
Okay.
say is like, hey, we've been dating each other for about 3 months. I like you. I have feelings for you that I think potentially could go somewhere. Not
3
that I'm in love
months.
with you.
3 months is a long time, no?
I feel like I've rushed. Into
That's
so
better than
many
what I've heard
things.
lately. I've the two friends of mine are pulling these conversations.
Wait, girls or guys? Guys.
The girls are pulling
Oh, the
this
same ones.
conversation.
Okay.
So the girls are pulling this conversation, and I'm saying 2. It is actually 2, but now neither of them know I'm talking about them. So
now.
but like they're pulling the trigger too quickly a little bit, and it's just like the reverse of what I was trying to portray before. You guys are subconsciously doing this. You're turning you will turn away a nice guy because he comes on too strong, whether you want to admit it or not.
So how long then?
I think actions speak louder than words. So I don't think it's an exact timeline. Don't shake your head at me. I'm not even finished yet. Actions speak louder than words. You're asking the question because you don't like the answer.
No, I'm
actions
very
I'm saying the person's asking what are we because they already know they already don't like the answers because they have to hear it, right? So if your actions are I'm all about you, I'm bringing you flowers every day, we're going out to dinner every day. Bro, if I'm with you all the time, then you're the only one I'm with. It's
Okay,
impossible.
That's not true.
Wait, I have a question for both of you.
I'm not saying this is like it's black and white and there's a line in the ground, but like
There
actions
is.
speak.
There is.
No, but the actions speak louder than words.
Okay, so here's my question for you. I have my paper ready to go. When you are newly dating someone,
Yes.
I think I know your answer. The woman expects the man to formally ask her out, to formally say like, "You're the only person I'm committed." Is that true or no?
In a degree, yes, I believe if
Asking out and being committed are two different
think-
conversations.
But men
Listen,
usually,
I think if
you're saying is that men.
confused-
Sorry,
If you're
go ahead.
confused about where you stand with a man,
You have to ask.
you have to ask. And I honestly
What
think
my point is.
I
So
honestly
you never
think
ask a
if
girl
man
out, you
is-
just keep dating her
if a
until.
man
No,
is
no.
genuinely
Time out.
interested, he will explicitly tell you where you stand in his life.
But that's not going to happen in the first 2 weeks.
No, we're not saying
Nobody
that.
said that.
I'm
No
saying after
comment.
like 6 weeks, like if do you think a man eventually should like make it? How about with you and your wife? Like, did you ever make it a thing, or it was just that you have to make her ask at some point? Like, did she feel obligated to ask you, or you don't remember you were drunk?
I mean,
This answer is going to change my viewpoint of you a lot.
no.
Kidding.
She's not gonna work here after this. She's like, screw this, I'm out.
I feel like our actions spoke louder than words. It wasn't a question, so it didn't have to be asked. We were spending every day together.
Okay.
There was no other time to have with anyone else. So, and I'm not
They always
saying
make that.
I'm not
At some point, I'm
that's a
kidding.
drastic that's drastic, that's zero. I get it. They're drastic ends of the spectrum. And I'm not saying you should have never asked. I'm just saying if you have to ask early, it's because you're not going to like the answer. You're asking because you want something to change. You're asking because you
I
want
think 2 weeks is insane, and whoever's asking at 2
Okay.
weeks
Okay.
needs.
All right,
needs too
relax.
much help.
What
Relax.
are the times? You never
Yeah,
answered.
2
What is
weeks.
the
These
time?
girls are
But
crazy.
you never asked them. What's
No,
the
I
time
think
frame that they asked? these
but
people this?
you're missing my point. And I know
I think I get your point.
you're missing my point.
Yeah,
My
your
point is
Actions
you don't
speak louder than words,
in
yes.
a month
But words help.
when if you want a timeline,
Yeah.
I think if you're seeing someone
You're
let's
seeing
say-
someone
now-
twice a
now-
week. Let's say you're
Now
dating
it
twice a week.
depends because I know people who were dating for a long time and they made it a point to only see themselves on the weekends. They want to be separate, so they long to be together, right? So they had separate. They would live at separate places, and for a long time, I'd only see her on Friday and Saturdays. So like that works for them, whatever. So if we're talking timelines, we want to dive into timelines because you guys want to mathematically make love happen. So if you're dating someone, the first couple of times you date them, you're probably only seeing them on a Friday or Saturday night, and like they're living their lives and going to work on the rest of the week, right? So the first 2 or 3 weeks, you're probably only seeing them once or twice. So there's 3 weeks right there where you're seeing them once or twice a week. I think by 2 months, if you're consistently seeing someone, and by the second month, if you're seeing them every day, the question doesn't really need to be asked as much as if you see them, once a week, right? So like there's no set in stone timeline. Every situation is different. If I'm seeing someone every single day, what am I asking about? But if I see someone once a week for 6 months, then you're going to be thinking, what is he doing on Tuesday night?
Isn't it crazy that you could see someone for 6 months every day and they still be cheating on you though, and still not want to commit to you?
Well,
It does happen.
Here's a now we
It
this
does
could be
happen.
this could
It
be a
has
whole nother episode as well. Here's a topic for a discussion. I know, I can see a guy,
You're
and
seeing a
I
guy.
know no.
Oh, then this should be
I can
episode
look at
3.
a dude and I can totally understand what his mindset is. Now, guys can read other guys, I feel like, and girls can read other girls. So like I might think a
Yes.
girl's wholesome, but you'd be like, no, my God, that girl is totally no good for you, right?
Yeah.
But we can't see it. Guys can't see it, right? So there's tons of times where girlfriends are like, I'm interested in this guy, and I can look at him like, dude, that guy is a scumbag. Like, he's
Yeah,
gonna
you can tell.
I could tell right away, but girls can't tell it. They
Yeah.
can't see it, right? Do you think that's a thing? I think that's a thing. Because I can look at that dude's a good. I can look at someone and see their mannerisms and know that's a good, wholesome dude. He's the one you should talk to. And then they'll point. Well, I'm dating this guy, and I'm like, you are a moron.
Well, I think men have an unspoken communication among each other, and I also think females do.
Mhm.
And I also think if you're an outsider looking in at at a random guy and he's with a girl, obviously the girl in that situation is kind of mesmerized and focused on this person and not listening or watching anything else. You're
Mhm.
watching from an outsider's point of view, and you're also
Okay.
a man watching a man, and you have a different perspective than like when
Okay.
girls are in it. We're just kind of like like we don't know what's
No,
happening.
I feel like I hear you guys do it all the time. Like, oh my God, that's your girlfriend. She's so trashy. I feel like you do that all the
Is
time.
this happening to you?
No. No, I'm saying that
Like,
I'm saying that
Becoming real personal.
that I think there's some like guys can read guys and girls can read girls. So you girls will pick the wrong dude because you can't see it. When guys are like obvious, like, are you serious? You didn't think he was a player? You didn't think he was trustworthy? Like, you just look at him, like his mannerisms, the way he holds himself. Those are
I've
how
heard
do you
that.
not see that?
I've heard that. Like I've had friends like see some of the
Yeah.
people I've dated and been like,
What are you
"He-
thinking?
Are you sure you
Yeah.
didn't know that he was gonna cheat on you?"
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, I had
No, I
hope
didn't.
he
Like,
wouldn't.
Like, I feel like it's
He's
obvious.
been.
Like I had hope he would be a decent human being.
Yeah.
Like maybe that was my fault, and then you feel stupid, like you can't choose somebody because. But that's also when you're choosing off fucking looks.
Yes,
It's
that's
not
like
looks.
looks
I'm
alone.
not saying hot, not hot. I'm
No, but
saying
just saying,
I'm
like,
saying you can tell when someone's a genuine nice person. I feel like it's like an aura, like we were talking
Yeah.
before the show about like Leo, Virgo, Capricorn, Fallen, Rising, whatever. If you believe in that, I also think that you would believe in like vibes and like you have like a color that or aura that's around you, right? I'm not saying, oh, that dude's hot, you should get on that. I'm saying that guy doesn't look
I
trustworthy.
am kidding.
Okay, that guy's not trustworthy. That guy is he actually likes her. Look at the way he looks at her. He's genuine. These are things that I think you can see.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the time that's the opposite sex cannot see those things.
I think you're right, and to an extent because
Finally,
you're with
we're
a-
won some right
All right,
tonight.
yeah, go ahead.
I don't think you're wrong. I'm
Check
not
it
saying
out.
you're
Thank
wrong.
you.
No, but I do think that as you grow up and you get older and you have these experiences and you see these relationships, you can decipher better even with opposite sex. When you're initially younger, you know how you would operate. You know how your gender operates because that's pretty much who you're spending most of your time around.
Mhm.
So I think that, yeah, it's easier for you to see through the guys, especially because maybe he's not trying to put feelers on you. Like he's not going to be like, oh, dog, you're so fit. Like, like grabbing your arms. Like,
Caressing you
you're
all
like, you
day.
know what? You're not such a bad guy. Like, just like chill out. But no, I definitely think you're right in a sense where, especially when you're young and you're just getting into dating, like you could easily be like, that guy's clearly a fuckboy. Like,
Yeah, you
why
can
would
easily
you
tell.
go for that?
You
but
can tell.
if you have a type, and barely
No,
a
it's-
type.
Okay,
too.
I think it's a muscle too, and I think
We like muscles. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
think
Tattoos. He said muscle too.
no,
Tattoos.
no, no, no,
Uh,
no. It's something you can work on like a muscle. I think the more you go out and observe the room and you see interactions and the more communication and conversations you have, you'll start to see trends and start to see the matrix of things. So like if you like I got friends who are wallflowers and they'll sit in the corner and they'll wait for a girl to come to them. It's never gonna happen. I'm like, dude, just go talk to people.
Yeah.
Like layup
Well,
lines,
that's-
right? You know,
I talk to
not
every man I've ever pursued. I've had to go up to them.
Yeah.
Always.
not every conversation needs to be the World Series. Like, you know, like you can go up and talk to someone at the bar and not have to marry them, right? So like have more conversations and get more interactions and it's a muscle, right? So like for the ladies' perspective, go out more and go out by yourself and just like interact with people and it's a muscle. You'll become better communicative, you'll be better you'll develop skill sets you never knew you could have.
I agree. By
that
doing that
stems from
helps.
a place of security, though. I
Mhm.
don't think if you're insecure or not confident in yourself, that you're going to be putting yourself out in a place to get rejected.
Right.
I'm saying to do that to gain confidence.
Yeah, I know, but it like if the whole point of you not doing it is that you don't have the confidence,
wanna get
it kind of
rejected.
like it's like very
You
hard.
gotta learn to
gain
love
that
You have to like throw
confidence.
yourself out there.
It's like
Yeah,
fake
learn-
confidence first,
Yeah.
and then you're like,
Learn
oh yeah, this
to
actually
love
works.
yourself.
Yeah.
There was free movie Tuesdays on Optimum way back when. Every Tuesday,
Oh, I remember that.
they would give
Yeah, I
you
remember
2
that.
free tickets. It was the best days of my life.
That was like
I would shut
15 years
myself.
ago.
Yeah,
At
I would.
least. Yeah.
I would go to the Ridgewood movie theater
Uh-huh.
by myself and just enjoy myself for a nice movie Tuesday. Not have to like explain the plot to anybody. Not have to like, be like, "Ooh, cool, look at that." Just enjoy myself with a big ass popcorn and a soda, and I watch a free movie. It was the best. Go out by yourself, learn to enjoy yourself, and everything's not so black and white. You gotta,
I do think
gain-
sorry to
No,
interrupt
no,
you,
no,
but
I'm done.
I think being alone is important. I think being able to go out and do things and live by yourself is important, and being able to be your own best friend and figure out ways to entertain yourself is very important. And I think a lot of, especially females, I think so many girls now are they're relying on men like left and right to support them and have them do everything for them. And I'm just like, where is your self-sufficiency? Like, you need to do that in order to find someone. That's just my opinion, but
I definitely grew up like my mom always telling me like don't ever depend on a man.
Mhm.
Like the second that you depend on a man, if anything goes wrong or if you have conflicting opinions, like always that can be used against you and then you don't have an opportunity to kind of save yourself. So definitely I agree, like don't 100% depend on any, but hey, if someone is gonna allow themselves to be exploited,
Yep.
then capitalize on what you can, all for getting that bag.
She wants to be the handbag. Or
But no, I don't. I definitely don't. No, I'm like anti fit into a person's life. I'm like, if both of our lives are going really good
Mhm.
and we're both happy and like individual, like we're good, and then we come together and it gets better,
I agree.
then
You have to have your own thing and be able to
Yeah.
come together and fit together.
I used to fall too much into the other person's life and just
Mhm.
like lose my own schedule and my own
Yep.
hobbies and my friends, and I just would literally abandon everything for that person, and it would always backfire.
It's important to keep your friends, I think, also when you're with someone. And I know it's very hard. It's easier said than done, they
Oh my
say.
god, especially when you like are an actual adult and you work and you have
Yeah, schedule.
like, schedule and everything. Meeting up with friends is like oh yeah, are you free on Tuesday? I'm free on Monday.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm free on Friday.
Yeah,
I'm working Tuesday,
yeah.
Monday. Sorry.
Yep. And
So
then
it's impossible.
and it's actually it goes into what I talked about last week that I wanted to talk about this week is as we get older, your friend circle gets smaller. And it feels like as you get older, you get a little bit more lonely and you're like, oh, this person's married, this one has a baby shower, this one has a bachelor party, and it's like you don't really forget, but you lose everything that was so comfortable to you for so long. And as you get older, you really start to lose people. And then I think it forces us to get closer to people and kind of let your guard down to learn more.
Keep going.
Okay, sorry. To learn more about someone else because you're forced to. And I think it's interesting. I'm sure you've experienced that as now you're a new father, and I'm sure you don't have much time to do other things.
No, not at all. But yeah, I mean,
Barely have time to sit here with us.
well, the baby's crying right now, so let's keep milking this. No, I'm joking.
No, pun intended. Pun intended.
No,
Milking,
absolutely.
I get it.
Like you
Need
said,
drums.
like you said, yeah, like we said last episode last week, you lose touch of people, and like we were saying, like I don't know about you, but we have the same birth date, so we're apparently Leo Virgo similar, right? So I feel like if I'm friends with you, and this has bitten me in the ass sometimes, if I'm friends with you before, like 10 years can go past and nothing changed in my book.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Unless you like backstabbed me or
Right.
something, like if we just lost touch because we're both busy and we're here together, like we're right where we picked up.
Mhm.
So I think that that's bitten me in the ass sometimes in the past, but whatever. But yeah,
How? You mean it's bit you in the ass because
you
weren't
just trust
able to-
people.
Oh.
You just trust people as if you were best buds from before,
Mhm.
and you're not best buds anymore. That
Yeah.
people change.
That's definitely.
It's hard.
It depends on the person too. I feel like if you're on that same wavelength of like, it doesn't matter how much time can go past. Like we're gonna be like, we just hung out yesterday. Like I literally just a few months ago went to LA with 3 or 4 of my other friends from camp that I went to camp with when I was like 10 years
That's
old.
so cute.
We used to spend our camps together, and we would visit one of my friends that lived in Florida, and we make a weekend trip out of it, like every
Mhm.
MLK every year. And then as we grew up, we lost touch, and social media really kept us together and everything like that. But my friend just got engaged, and we wanted to surprise her. So I was like, guys, let's just do it. Let's pull the
just
trigger
go.
and go down to LA. It was the first time all 4 of us have been together in like 10 years.
That's so cute,
And
though.
we were like hysterically crying, laughing. Like it was just like nothing had
Mhm.
changed from when we were like 13 years old.
That's amazing, though.
And it's great. But then I have another friend that has a kid, and we've been friends since we were 6. And
Mhm.
having a kid changes your whole life. And I knew that was going to happen when she had the kid. But
Mhm.
like, I feel bad because I feel like I could reach out more, but then she's so busy with the kid that it's like,
Mhm.
you don't want to be bothering the person and overstepping and like, hey, could you leave me alone and let me live my life? But you don't know unless you communicate that. So like, I haven't talked to her. Maybe I'll text her after this, but I haven't talked to her in a minute. And I feel like, I miss her a lot, but she's venturing on as a mom and taking care of her kids. That's a lot.
It's a whole other job.
Yeah.
My wedding list got butchered. I invited everyone. I invited preschool friends. I was inviting everyone. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "That's Johnny."
I haven't seen
My
him in
wedding-
23 years. I want to see him.
we had so much fun down the
The
shore.
custodian
I
from
was
my
inviting.
elementary
I was
school.
inviting.
We used to share crayons.
I was having networking. I was having like networking events, and like my clients were there and everything. I'm like, "Yeah, you're invited, and you're invited." And she's like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
There's the guy I
I'm like, "Yeah,
twice.
he's a client. He's coming to the wedding." She's like, "Slow your roll." Yes.
So what happened to your wedding list? It was just you.
It got butchered,
Yeah.
completely butchered, and then there was like 5 or 10 fights along the way.
Mhm.
Like, what do you mean I can't fight this guy?
Oh, I can't imagine the amount of arguments like a
So
wedding must
many.
cause.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't even.
I
imagine.
gave up. I
I had a
threw
sweet
towel.
16.
I don't give up. I don't
Yeah.
give up. I don't give up on much, especially because the stuff that I'm fighting for is like for the betterment of something, right? So like, not if there's a fight, it's I'm not saying I'm always right, but I'm like, I'm making the right decision. I'm trying to make the right decision, right? I'm trying to
On
also
camera.
choose. I'm trying to choose my
We
words
got it.
wisely.
We got it.
I'm trying to choose my words wisely as well. But what I'm saying is, like, I threw in the towel real fast on that one because she was right. There was. We need a whole nother wedding hall.
Ahead
You had to have
for
two
these
There's a
weddings.
whole
random
nother
people.
wedding hall. The whole nother wedding hall needed to.
And is it true that the most the people that order the most expensive dish never like a few of them will
Well, I don't
not
think
come?
I mean,
Yeah.
for our wedding, I don't think it mattered what dish they was.
It's all
Three
the same,
choices,
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was 3 choices. I don't think it
I
mattered.
saw a TikTok with that. It was like, oh, tell me how everybody that ends up not coming always freaking orders the most expensive dinner option, like that. You have to
Usually it's
pay
like a
for.
flat rate, right? Isn't it like that?
Yeah,
Or whatever?
yeah. You can get like steak, fish, and
Chicken.
whatever, chicken. Yeah. That's
Never
a whole.
good.
We don't have to go into presents. That's a whole other conversation.
Going
don't
to
have
what?
The she was talking about people who give the good presents and stuff. That's all.
Oh. Oh, it's like people that go to weddings with cash, and then it's like, the flowers sucked and the food sucked. Take out $100.
Adrian's family is
Coming out
very
your tip?
Italian, so that might be something that they do. I don't know.
I'm taking out $50, and I'm also taking home one of those centerpieces.
It's funny because it's true.
It's true. It's true.
I'm just messing.
Okay, so before we dive into truth or donate with Derynn, recently, I mean, not that I've really known Sam very long. It's only been like 4 hours, but she mentioned that she does have an OnlyFans, and I really want to know more. Is this okay to talk about?
Yeah, so this is okay to talk about because like I'm not like a super hard creator on OnlyFans. Like I don't have
You mean that
Super
like
hard
hard? I was gonna
creator.
say, was that like a pun?
Use your words
Where's
wisely right now.
Super hard, but
Yeah.
Super Sam.
you know. No, like I don't put anything like very explicit out there. Like I had done a lingerie shoot. Like me and my friend actually just like one day ordered $15 Amazon off lingerie or lingerie off Amazon, and we're just like, okay, let's do our hair and makeup and like do a photo shoot. And we did a photo shoot, and at one point I posted them on my Instagram, and everyone was like, oh, like are you doing OnlyFans? Like is what's going on? I was like, I just looked really good and I liked the picture and I wanted to post it, like whatever. And I ended up taking them down and being like, if I ever do an OnlyFans, I'm just gonna like post stuff like this, like soft, really softcore, like bikini.
Softcore porn. Is that what you
Softcore.
said?
Like, you know,
Hey, that's how
Like,
Sylvester
listen,
Stallone got
because-
started.
okay, is bikini pictures and like lingerie pictures really like porn?
No.
Okay,
No
then.
comment. I'm not answering these.
I think
All
they
right.
are. I mean,
This is
what's
for
the
me and
difference
Derynn.
of like if you go to a beach and like girls on a bikini?
That's my fucking point.
What the hell is the difference of a bra and underwear?
Yeah, but
if-
it's just
especially if I'm
this is
wearing a
going
thong
back to the
bikini.
conversation we had last week that it's not about you getting the DMs, it's how you react to the DMs.
I don't
So it's
react
not-
to anything. I don't.
So it's
yeah, I don't
not
react to
about
anything.
it's not about you laying on the beach, but are you wearing the lingerie spread eagle
I am tanning my ass in
and
a thong
like
on a
and the
beach.
face that you're making? Because like there's classy.
Yeah, I agree. It
Victoria's
depends. It
Secret is
depends.
classy, right? Like when you look at Victoria's Secret, oh, she's
mean,
a
I don't know
Victoria's
the-
Secret model. They have it in a tasteful way, but then there's also people who are,
You can tell.
on a pole that are wearing lingerie.
Well, you all can check it out and see for yourselves. But
If you want to
Someone's
find her,
thirsty for
OnlyFans.
subscribers.
So wait, is this like a public thing? Like you advertise this on your social media,
so
or
I
you do
don't,
not?
I don't advertise it on my social media just because it's
So all your
not-
exes just DM you and go like, "Hey, what's your OnlyFans?" And you're like, "Here it is."
they're blocked.
There
You can
go.
block people.
Yeah. Where
I feel like it's like an open.
have you been, Mr. Undefeated
block,
Media?
You can block people on OnlyFans.
Oh,
no,
yeah,
on social media.
Yeah.
No, I'm not
on
talking about
OnlyFans,
social
I'm
media,
Sure
I'm
you
talking
can.
about
on OnlyFans, I'm
OnlyFans.
sure you can.
I feel like I don't think
Shit,
I don't
go
think
up
you
and
can.
block my whole family, please.
I don't think you can because
Can
OnlyFans
you
wants
block
every dime they can get. I
They
don't,
take like 30%. I think, of the
OnlyFans.
commissions.
and you're not subscribing to OnlyFans with
Oh!
like an Instagram
You
account.
absolutely can. If
Okay.
you click on the 3 vertical dots on the right of a fan's profile, you will see the option to block that user.
Okay, and then they make a new profile with a random Gmail account, have no profile picture. You're
All
gonna
right, if
take
you
the
want to
money.
pay me $20
You're taking the
over
money.
and
Yeah, they gotta keep
over
going.
and
That's
over
what
and
I'm
over
saying.
again.
This is a
That's
profit.
exactly what I'm
baby,
saying.
rack
You're
it
not
up.
turning down this money, so let's like come
Cash
on.
it in, hon.
Yeah.
I'll keep blocking you. You keep resubscribing. I don't
Okay,
give a
so
crap.
this brings us to our next question. So Deryn, we're doing the sock thing.
Sock.
What? I'm sorry. What?
Remember we were last
Oh, the foot
episode
fetish?
the foot
Wait, was it-
fetish. So let's sell your socks to people.
Oh no, but I did. Someone sent me a really fun. I can't say it out loud. Never mind. The sock thing. What? Selling socks?
I mean, just saying, if you can make money doing it. I mean, listen, I don't know. I haven't seen this. I'm not going to see this. It's fine. But if someone wants your socks, sell your socks.
It's like,
It's a feet finder thing. Everyone keeps telling me to join feet.
but
Finder.
that has like you
Every
actually have
I
to
question
thought you had a
send the
high
socks.
score. That's what we were talking about
You
last
actually
week.
have
No,
to
that was
send the
Wiki
socks
Feet.
and
There's like
everything.
feet. Yeah,
Okay,
there's
so
feet.
why don't you put a website on your profile saying you want my socks and charge $100 per sock?
Maybe
like-
I will. Because every single truth or dare question I got today is about my feet. Almost everyone.
I don't like
It's
What's
so
going
weird
on?
how
I don't
they love
know.
my feet. It's
I don't
so
like
strange.
I don't like doing laundry. So there's
Okay.
times where if I'm running low on underwear, I just pick up another pack, right? Don't get me wrong. I don't have an
You don't
unlimited
wash your
supply.
underwear before
No,
putting
no,
them
no,
on.
no, no, no.
I do. You just buy them straight from Kohl's
If
and go
they're-
like, "Let me put these bad boys on."
Yeah, I'm not
I don't
gross. If it's not open,
Judgment.
you're judging. All right, but your
I guess 'cause
underwear,
they're guys, I
your
think it's, like,
underwear is
different.
in your stuff.
Yeah,
My
but-
underwear is just like a. Do you wear? Would you wash a pair of shorts
We're
before
talking to
wearing
the
them?
people
Yes,
that
I wash
use
everything
dish
before.
soap
You
for
want
their
everything
face.
before
It's
wearing
fine.
it.
A lot of men do that.
Yeah, they do.
It's so
They're like,
weird.
It's good for the ducks. It's good for
Look,
me.
if the pack of underwear was open beforehand, I'm not even buying it.
Okay.
This is wrapped up in a bag, untouched by human hands. Whatever,
Sometimes
whatever.
chips are wrapped up in a bag and there's a little fucking ant in the bottom in the bag.
So you're not going to eat chips ever again? Like, you're proving my point.
No, I'm just
She's got a
saying.
chip on her shoulder.
I'm just saying,
Maybe it's different.
You
for
could
food,
sell
know.
your socks.
All right, I'll think about it.
Instead of doing laundry, you just keep selling it. Like you wear it once and sell it.
I
Wear
never.
it once and sell
Wow,
it.
I
Wear
killed
it
two
once and
birds
sell
at
it.
one stone. I get to
Exactly.
make money selling socks, and I don't have to do laundry ever again.
Boom. That's my point.
Look at that.
Oh
Wow.
my God.
Wow, you are an
Ooh.
efficient man over here.
Thank you.
Again, capitalizing on that bag.
Yes, on the handbag. I'm trying to think how I want to do the truth or dare with you. Just
Shit.
because you're gonna answer them all. They're really not that bad. I don't really want
She
to.
doesn't have to donate.
She's like, I don't want to. We'll just donate to the OnlyFans.
Yeah, for real.
Don't worry, she's gonna get plenty of subscribers after this one.
These
They have
She's
to
not
find-
gonna be here anymore.
They have
She's
to
gonna go
find me
full
first.
OnlyFans.
I'm gonna be like, sorry, Doug.
sorry.
Just got an
I
influx
lost
of
her
$1
to
million.
OnlyFans.
I mean, like the one I got from today was where'd it go? It said, I dare you to get your feet tickled for 30 seconds without moving. Like I'm not doing this. This is not
I
that
was
kind
gonna
of
say,
podcast.
you really want this?
See, the people want your freaking socks,
I just
dude.
want no, they want my feet. It's just so.
They're
I
like,
dare you to show
yeah.
your feet.
Bro.
Please show your feet. I dare you to show. This is like everything is
Sell
about my
the
feet.
socks.
I don't understand
Sell
it.
the socks. Sell the
embarrassing.
socks.
Darren, can you I need to see what the hype is
Feet?
about.
Yeah, what is the hype about? My feet. I don't have nice feet. I don't know. I have really big feet.
I think it's because you have nicely
I have
shaped
really long
feet,
toes.
and
I have to
also
get my nails done.
you
This
have
is
good nail
embarrassing.
beds.
Thank
That's huge. That's
I have very
huge.
I have very long nail beds. I have fingers for toes. That's essentially what it is.
Oh my god!
I don't know
You're
what
one
that
of
means.
the, you slap the floor when
All
you
I
walk
know-
barefoot.
All I know is that
So
these
gross.
questions are all about the feet. I'm
It
sure
is.
someone will pay you $100 for a pair of socks you wore once.
100. I want more than 100.
We gotta see. We gotta test the market, supply and demand.
Actually, I got a cameo request like
Always
3 days ago.
don't ever undersell yourself.
Undersell.
Don't ever.
Limited time only. Introductory special.
Someone- listen,
$100 for one sock.
For $47.25, someone asked me, "Hi, can you please complete a 1-minute feet tickling challenge and see how long you can last? I think your laugh is great, and let's see if you're up for the challenge."
And this
Only
is on Cameo. Is that
$47?
legal on Cameo?
I don't know. I'm not doing it. So it expires in 2 days, and we're not doing it. But yeah, people are.
Why is it?
Imagine
Why
you just had a random person taking feet content for you and selling that on your behalf.
That's what I need. I
That's
actually
what
I thought
I'm
about that.
telling
Using
you
someone-
to. That's what
no,
I'm
I
going
wanted
to do.
someone else's feet. I don't want to
Somebody
do it.
else's
Let someone,
feet.
and no one will. Well, now they know. So now I'm outed.
Okay.
But
No, we'll cut
No,
that
I'm just
part.
saying you give Pat a bag of your socks.
have him wear them.
no, they have to be used socks. Just give us the used. What do you care? What do you care? The socks, the garbage socks. Like, first off, if you did fake it and we gave him Pat's socks or my socks, like, what's the difference in morally or ethically,
No,
or
I'm not.
or whatever? Like, what's the difference? Like, if you gave me your socks
Yeah.
and we sold them, what's the difference if they're your socks or they were not really your socks in the first place?
It doesn't matter. At that point, I would just put them all in a bathtub with like salt and sell them. Be like, all right, here you go. They're sweaty socks. That's the way to do it. Yeah. So like 500 a week.
You could literally just put your socks on the bottom of your hamper and like whatever you put in your
Yeah,
hamper, it
just-
just soaks up the smell.
This is what. Okay, fine. I'll think
Okay,
about it.
well, they're going to be
He's
real.
like,
Why are we
worth it.
talking about
I don't know.
this?
He's like really into my feet apparently.
I'm not the one into the feet.
You
All your
help
questions are
him.
about the feet.
I know, it's
Feet
weird.
this, feet that,
Right,
feet
we're-
everything.
We're gonna.
I'm
we're-
saying, as an entrepreneur, we need to capitalize on supply and demand. Everything's about feet. Let's just sell some goddamn socks. Hey, how about this? Look, I got a better idea. You don't have to wear the socks. Why don't we design socks? You design the socks and we sell socks by
Nobody
Derynn.
want that. They want her feet in the
No,
Well, that's what I'm
no.
trying to explain to her, but she's not getting the picture. So let's just design socks. And everyone's about her feet. These could be
I'll put
socks
my face on them and then we'll sell them.
because these socks are made to protect your feet, and they're the only socks that you trust. Socks by Derynn.
Why'd you whisper
I need
it
a
like
new
that?
hobby.
Why'd you
All
whisper
right.
it like that?
There's
Socks
a-
by
there's a
Derynn.
line.
Socks
Socks by Derynn. Maybe that's what I'm
Get your socks by Derynn.
calling. That's my
You can
calling.
slide from one dining room table to the kitchen table.
Oh my
with
God.
one fall
Sliding
swoop.
on tables.
No. You know, like the slide from Risky Business, where he's
Yeah.
These are the optimum slide socks.
Okay, so
Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
I think we should dive into truth or donate.
Okay.
Truth
Yeah,
or
so we
Derynn.
covered all the topics. So it seems like today's
think so.
topic was screw you,
Cheating.
dudes.
I know.
Fuck man.
So today's episode was about dating and screw you, dude. And now we're gonna dive deeper into the truth or Derynn part.
Yes, the actual part. Okay. I'm gonna ask you. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. They're really not that bad. And we're gonna ignore my Instagram because
Please.
those questions are even worse. So the first question I have for you is
Hmm.
have you ever lied to get out of a date?
Yes.
Okay.
That's easy.
Do you want to say who you were on the date with?
Ooh, that's better. You don't have to say names. Why don't you say the situation?
Yeah, can you
The
explain
story.
what the story was?
Yes.
What the lie was?
Okay. So like recently, not even recently.
She just gave
This
it away.
guy.
It was yesterday.
This guy DM'd me asking me out. We had gone to college together, whatever. And he was like a familiar face. So I was so bored. I was like, you know what? Sure, let's go on a date. Like, we'll go out to eat, whatever. And we kept misscheduling whatever. And I got to the point where I was like, yeah, you're too flaky for me. Like, if you actually wanted to see me, like, you'd probably make it happen. So, like, I'm not going to keep trying to do this. And so he asked me to go on a date again. And I was like, okay. And then I bailed last minute and I just hung out with my friends instead because I was
So
like,
what was
not
your
really
excuse?
interested. I told him, I was like, I think I had to, it's something with my car. I was like, oh yeah, my car, like, something's wrong with my car. I can't drive. And then he offered to pick me up.
Oh, and then what'd you say?
Yeah,
Sorry,
that's terrible.
I'm not a passenger
didn't
princess.
see
Like,
it.
what'd you say?
And I was like, oh, like, I don't want to make you drive all the way here. Like, it's too far. Like, let's just.
And then
like,
you ghosted him.
Yeah. I was like, let's just reschedule. And he was like, okay.
You got to come up with a better excuse. You got to come up with something that
It
he
was on
can't
the-
Just save a
solve.
stomach bug or
It was
something.
Like my grandma broke her
Listen,
toe.
I
My
used
grandma's
to.
goldfish
When
died.
I
Yeah.
was like very young and I had my first job, I used to use some explicit excuses like I had some IBS type situation.
Yeah.
And I was like, I actually wrote that in an email to one of my college professors. I was like, excuse me, I am so sorry, but I have been violently diarrheaing and I cannot come in class today because my stomach is in shambles. And unless you want my stomach on your floor, I doubt I should come in. And they responded because it was like a fitness class and it was a young teacher. And she was like, I just laughed so hard at this email. She was like, you're good for the week. Like, don't worry about it. Like, just come in next week. Like, and you'll be good. But at that time I was just extremely hungover.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry about
College teens.
Okay, then the next question I have is, would you give up social media and your OnlyFans for a guy?
You want the guys to change? Are you going to change?
Would I give up social media and OnlyFans for a guy? He would have to be the guy.
Okay.
Like the guy.
And how do
Like
you
he
know
would
it?
have to be like
This is like on the second date. He's like, I want to
on
marry
the
you with no
second date.
kids.
Wait, on the second date, he's
What if
asking me to
he's-
take down my social media. I run.
No,
No,
not
but
yet.
what if he's one of like I'm sure you had rules you couldn't like do behind the scenes of the shows and stuff. There's like strict social media rules.
Oh yeah, very.
Right. So what if he's on a show or social media and like you literally can't post anymore because you're in his life, and if they see a post of you in London, you just gave away the whole plot.
Well, that's more of like a career thing, but that wouldn't affect. I mean, like if he's like, I'm very anti.
So it matters.
He's perfect. Like he was everything you've ever
And
wanted.
yes, absolutely. in a
Okay.
heartbeat, in a heartbeat.
So but what you're saying is it matters the
Person.
reason. No, you're saying it matters the reason. If he's just
If he's just-
overprotective
Yeah.
is one answer, but if it's because of his job is another answer, is what you guys are saying. Just saying.
I think here's my full opinion. You should respect what your partner wishes for the relationship. Like if someone that like wants to be really private and
Mhm.
everything like that, like I can get behind that. I can respect that so long as it's like reciprocated, you know, like I wouldn't
Mhm.
expect someone to have me delete my social media and then they keep their social media.
Right.
But yeah, I think it depends on the person. And if he was Mr. Perfect, absolutely. I would trash my fucking,
Wow. She would.
trash my social
Her
media.
only Sam's would be.
But
gone
here's
for-
the problem I have with this is if Mr. Perfect is overprotective.
No,
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Mr. Perfect is not overprotective, but
But he doesn't want you to be on Instagram.
and he doesn't.
Wait, why are you saying it makes him not perfect?
I'm saying the reason has a big reason. This is one of those some conscious thing that you guys are overpassing before. The reason is a big part of his answer. If it's because he's the king of England or prince of England and you can't have social media because it's a safety issue, you're going to be like, yeah, okay, I get
of
it.
course.
But if it's because I don't want you being DM'd and being liked by guys, you're going to be like, no, I'm keeping my social media.
Because that screams I'm insecure and I don't want other
Exactly.
people,
And
like,
you
looking
just said
at
if he's the one that you do it. So I'm saying his insecurity, he could be the one if he's insecure. Is what
If
I'm saying.
he's okay, here's my
Lawyer.
counter to
I
that.
should have been a lawyer.
If you're Mr. Perfect,
We're finding out what we really want to do
if
here.
you're Mr. Perfect, then you wouldn't be overbearing or insecure in terms of wanting me to get rid of everything and being like, you need to get rid of that. But at the same time, if you are Mr. Perfect and you say, I would actually prefer that we keep our life private.
Uh-huh.
Like it's not like if you want to, like if you gave me the ultimatum, like if you want to be on social media, good, great. But like if you could at least like take down your OnlyFans and like not post like really sexy
wasn't the
pictures
question.
anymore,
Oh,
then that'd be
wasn't the
fine.
question.
I'm
This
talking
is
about
why I
not
hate
Mr.
men.
Perfect.
This is why.
Because you're
This
talking about
wasn't the question.
If he's your Mr.
That
Perfect,
wasn't the
if he's
question.
my
That's
Mr.
an
Perfect,
easy
then he'd be
question. Listen,
approaching it like
I
this.
want you to take down your OnlyFans is way different than get off Instagram.
Yeah.
Right, right. Okay.
The question was, you have to get off all social media.
Everything. Like
And-
you were only you. Like this is it.
And you said if he's Mr. Perfect, you would. And
he-
my rebuttal was, would Mr. Perfect is insecure and can't handle you being on social media? That was the rebuttal. I'm not saying obviously if you're with somebody, you know, I wouldn't want my wife to be on OnlyFans. That's not going to happen. So yeah. That's easy. That's not a truth or daring question. The truth or daring question
So
is,
basically,
are you getting rid of
Instagram, like if Mr. Perfect was like, hey,
all
could you,
TikTok,
like,
all those thousands
Now
of
imagine
followers?
Mr. Perfect also doesn't have social media, and then behind your back actually had social media.
yeah, then that's
I would
usually the
absolutely
fucking
Grace.
case.
And that's why I said the answer is predicated on the reason.
Mhm.
Prince Charles or whatever, safety concern, get rid of social media, you're probably gonna be like, yeah, whatever, I'm the Queen of England now. But if it was because he was like, I don't like when you get liked and commented, whatever, you'd be like, screw you, I do whatever I want.
It's not only just the cause, but like it's the approach. I'm sure if your fucking husband that was famous or whatever was like, get rid of your fucking social media, you'd be like,
Excuse me?
asshole,
Yeah.
what? And then if you're like, Madame, could you please, like, for security
That's my
purposes
point.
of my family, like, that's one thing. And if Mr. Perfect, who I am creating because he's my Mr. Perfect,
Oh, she's getting heated.
he's
When she
probably
uses
gonna
that
be
voice,
like,
we know he struck a nerve.
Oh.
When she starts talking like a hillbilly, we know we really got her where we want her.
Anyway, so when Mr. Perfect would ask me, be like, babe, I don't have social media. I want to be super, like, I'm not that kind of person. Like, if that's something you could leave behind, like, I think it would make our relationship stronger. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's how you word.
Absolutely. It's your
It's
tone.
how you
It's
word
your
things.
approach.
I agree.
That was the point that I was trying to make.
No, you
Oh,
were
here we
trying to
go.
make the
It's
reason that it was the
mansplaining.
reason why.
Yeah. The approach, the reason why. If he said, I don't like it that you get liked and commented by dudes and DM'd, I want you off social media. Or it's a safety concern. Prince Charles, you're now part of the royal family. You can't have social media. You'd give that up in a heartbeat. I get to sleep in the king castle. I'll give that up in a heartbeat.
Well,
I'm not a big fan of them.
The
I don't
Mr.
know.
Perfect
I'm not
example
saying
that I
you gotta be a
gave is
fan of
more
them.
of a
I'm just saying in one aspect,
wait.
you're doing it without a second thought. In the other aspect, you're like, whatever, I do what I want. But then you said if it was Mr. Perfect, you do it. And my
Because you're
point
not gonna
was,
threaten
my
someone's
point.
This is my podcast.
security.
Hold on. Hold on.
Ask the next
This
question.
sounds like a personal question. Okay. So now, if you want to keep going, you can. I don't want to.
No.
I'm not
No,
gonna.
you're
okay.
good.
Okay.
Take the heat off.
So since the two of them are in a heated discussion, now we're going to move to truth or dare, but it's gonna get a little bit more fun. So now you don't have to answer, obviously, and if you don't answer, you can donate. Okay. I'm trying to think if I want to ask you also. No, we'll just do you. Have you ever been late to work or left work early because you wanted to have sex with somebody?
Yes.
You left early yesterday. I'm joking.
I see.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, she answered. I can't even
I
donate.
have.
Damn it.
Sorry, but I'm stingy and honest.
Wow, she's good. She's good. How long have you worked here? You said
I
3
have
months.
Worked here for 3 months. Yeah.
She
Wow.
left early every day.
I
That's
was
fucking
gonna say
weird.
Gotta go.
Sorry, bye. So I posted on my Instagram some questions, and considering most of them are all about my feet or so I have no idea what that even means. I'm gonna pick one, and I mean it's kind of funny, I guess, and I feel like you'd answer it honestly. I think.
Let's go.
So the question is: has a guy's penis ever thrown you off where you made an excuse and left?
Truth or daring?
We don't get raunchy to the last like 3 seconds. So.
If you made it to the full podcast, you get the raunchiness at the end.
I personally have never seen anything so off-putting that I've left, but I have had a friend that literally had to walk out. Upon
Let's have her on. Will she come on next week?
She lives in a different country now.
Okay.
I wonder why. I wonder why.
We can go. We can go virtual. We just send her a
Bring
link.
her in.
We can go virtual. Send her a link.
On her behalf, it was it was a really tall guy, and she thought he would be well endowed, and
She couldn't find it.
no,
What a shame.
not even in the light.
See, not even in the light. Oh my God. See, it's always like a thing they say is like women, like like men can see like what they're working with, like pretty much through like your clothes, but
Yeah.
like women have no idea. It's a guessing game every day.
It really is. It depends. Gray sweatpants,
Oh, the uniform.
the uniform.
I have one more question now. Okay. Let's see. I want to get her just to donate one thing.
All right. How
Okay.
bad are we getting?
All right. Who is your least favorite coworker here?
I will donate.
Okay, we got one
That is-
donation.
Everybody edits this.
Everyone, yeah.
And I want to keep, composure in the office.
She's like, I'm trying not to have to leave early every day to go have sex with someone.
I don't want to have to leave permanently.
Okay, so because you did not want to answer my truth or Derynn question, you have to donate. So, Doug, who are we going to donate to?
Yes, we are donating to Celestial Acres, a beautiful farm run by Rosanna. She's a farm sanctuary, so she rescues animals across the nation, unwanted pets, horses, pigs, alpacas, there's peacocks. But sometimes something will happen where a farm closes down and there might be like 10 pigs there that don't have homes, and she gives them a second chance at life.
And you can even put some of your exes there if you'd like, I'm sure.
That's where they belong. They still be cared for.
So there you
That's
go.
true.
That's more than I can say now.
All right. So that pretty much sums up our truth or Derynn question segment. Now, the podcast itself, I think, is coming to an end. Is this? I think that's.
Yeah,
all
I mean,
have.
you feel like we touched base on the topics that you want to touch base on today?
I mean, I think we
great
got a lot of topics touch based here.
Yeah.
Awesome. Soon to be live, but if you have a question, comment, concern, you could put it in the comments section and we will answer it next episode. Do you have any idea what next episode might entail?
Guess we're gonna find out. I
We'll
feel like
find
I'm kind of like an improv kind of girl. I just
I
kind
like
of
it.
wing
I
it.
like it.
Absolutely going to be having guests every week. Maybe Sam will want to come back. I don't know. Maybe you will. I don't know. But definitely going to be full of surprises and more relatable topics. So
Awesome.
Thank you for having me.
thank you so much for doing this last minute. You were great.
Love
And keep going with that OnlyFans. Hopefully, if you guys want to follow her or subscribe to her or tip her, whatever it is, you can tip her. You can follow her
Use
at
promo code Darren's Feet. Get an extra 5%
Maybe we'll
off.
do a collab. You'll put your feet on
with my
OnlyFans.
socks.
Yeah, you
I'll
wear
give you the
Darren's
proceeds.
socks. Yeah, everyone wins.
So where
Nothing
can
but
people
socks.
find you? What's your can we insert our handle over here or over
We
there?
can.
Right here.
And obviously we are at Undefeated Media with
Oh, thank you.
wonderful Doug to my right,
Thank you.
who is a great co-host, I guess. I don't know.
Thank you.
Coco.
So that's about it. But yeah. Episode
Sweet.
2 has been wrapped.
Episode 2 in the books. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time on Truth or Darren.
See ya.
Oh my god. We gotta be like those news anchors that just say like,
Hi,
shit at the
welcome
end.
back.
You know that Anchorman clip where they're like, oh, I want to punch you in the gut.
We have to take a picture together.
Oh, I want to push you down the stairs.